welcome to Swan Lake Lifestyle. My name's Olivia and I'm a lifelong ballerina and classical musician here to teach you how to dance ballet for free with no experience needed. Let's go ahead and get our dancing gear on and get started. Hello and welcome. Just a quick note that if you are a new student here for the very first time, I recommend that you check out my playlist above because each video in this free ballet course builds off of concepts learned in previous videos and I wouldn't want for you to feel lost. Now if you're a returning student, welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here. Let's go ahead and get into today's lesson. So for today's lesson, we're going to go ahead and learn some more exciting pantomime movements in ballet. Just a quick refresher that pantomime in ballet is a series of specific motions that are meant to convey either an idea or an emotion or some sort of concept to the audience so that the audience can further understand what's going on stage. So for today's lesson, we're going to cover some really interesting pantomimes and I hope that you are excited to follow along with me. So the first two motions that I'd like to cover are the motions on how to call a character as well as how to express the question of why. So when a character is calling upon another character in ballet, typically they will face the character on stage. Remember, the placement of the characters is very important here. And they will face the character that they want to call. They will raise one of their arms and then put the other one back like this and have it kind of curved. So like they're calling them. So an example of this would be in the Nutcracker when Clara calls a bunch of her friends to come dance. She'll usually go like this as if to motion to the other dancers that she is requesting that they pay attention to her and that she grabs their attention. Definitely not different than like I would guess a modern day pantomime would be like to call someone or like this I guess. You're talking about smartphones. But back in the day, because ballet is a very old art form, this is how they would signify that they're trying to get someone's attention. Now, as for how to ask the question why, pretty similarly to how we have both arms up and extended, to ask the question why, we'll go ahead and go like this. So both arms are out, almost like in a second position, but they're kind of downturned like this. And typically, again, a character might cheat themselves towards the audience so the audience can see better if there's another character here. And they'll ask them why, like this, or like this, or like this. The bottom part of the body can sometimes change, but really the main focus here is in the arms. So to ask the character why, you go like this. Maybe have like a inquisitive motion or look on your face, something like that. So these next two motions I'd like to teach you are to say how to say no or not, as well as how to ask for something. So let's say a character is asking a question, they ask why, there's a few other interactions going on, but then another character wants to say, oh no, or oh not that. The way that this would be signified would be to have one hand at the bottom here, and the other here crossed. And they would probably shake their head like, oh no, that's not it, or oh no, no, no. So that is how you would respond, no. And again, the bottom of the body could be like here, like a B+, or it could be an étendu. Again, the bottom part of the body doesn't necessarily have as much significance as the hand motions and the expression and the head movements. So now on how to ask for something in pantomime, usually a character would have their arms placed like this, almost like praying, and they would like ask for something here. So perhaps there's like a daughter like Giselle asking her mother if she can go dance or something like that. They'll look at the other character and be like, please, could I do this? Or, you know, I would like to ask you something. So not very far off from our motions in daily life today where you feel like, oh, could I please have this or that? So I think that makes that pantomime pretty easy to remember. So with that said, I think it's pretty easy to transition into the pantomime for praying. So for example, I think there's a part in the ballet Romeo and Juliet where Juliet and Romeo are praying. I think it's either at their wedding or separately so that they can be together. And you know, while the pantomime for please is more like directed towards someone, the pantomime for pray is typically having the arms a little bit more downturned, the hands still together, but usually the head is down, like you're praying to, you know, whatever character, like the higher power that they believe in, they're praying. As opposed to what I just showed you in asking for something, you're looking at someone and you're asking for it. So again, this is like more for pray, and this is for asking. Now I'd like to, I guess, go into the pantomime for sleep. What's really interesting is that the pantomime for sleep or sleeping traditionally differs between men and women. Usually for women, when they are showing that they're sleeping in ballet or they're sleepy, they'll go ahead and kind of go like this with their arms. So like kind of resting their head on the arm here, and then having the other arm down and like eyes downcast, maybe closed even, or just looking sleepy, or like having like a nice little expression like they're ready for sleep. Meanwhile for men, typically in classical ballet, they'll put both arms together to the side and look down and sleep like this. Last up for this lesson, we have the pantomime for hide. So usually when a character is trying to convey that they're hiding or they want to hide, they're going to place one arm above their head and the other arm is going to be across the body, and usually they'll kind of like lean away or kind of like kind of put their body weight away. And you know, unlike in the pantomime from the last video where I showed you fear, where the object of fear would be here and they're like this, in hide usually they'll look at the object of fear and be like, oh, they want to hide from it, or they're trying to hide from it. I think that this motion is used in the Little Red Riding Hood ballet, but I could be wrong. Feel free to check into that and let me know in the comments below. One thing that I really love doing is going on YouTube and looking up full-length classical ballets, and so that could be a fun little follow-up exercise for you to try, is to look up different classical ballets on YouTube and see if you spot any of these pantomimes that I've taught you so far. Anyway, for this lesson, I won't be doing a recap, but please feel free to go back and look at these different pantomimes and practice them yourself. This is my reverence to you. Thank you so much for learning with me today. I'll go ahead and put down below what I'll be covering in the next video, which will be some more pantomime fun. Thank you again for joining me. If you could please like, subscribe, comment, turn on the notifications, all those good things, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.